Dad and I, we felt that action speaks louder than words, and we've always loved our crocodiles, and we felt that the conflict between crocodiles and man is something that we could help with. And so Dad joined up with the East Coast Crocodile Management Program, and together away we went, trying to help the crocodiles by removing them from the area before there was that conflict or a potential danger of someone getting bitten.
That was probably the most exciting time at the park, actually, because we had to catch what they classified then as nuisance or road crocodiles. And we were contracted to national parks and wildlife to catch these crocodiles. It was an extremely exciting time. He seemed to have a reasonably good knack of not only finding the crocodiles but also capturing them.
I've found that the best way to catch a crocodile is to treat it as a one-on-one situation. So I just focus on that crocodile so hard that I am unaware of anything around me. I won't eat. I'll stay on that river because I feel so passionate about catching that croc before someone gets to him. I just won't stop. I've just got to do it. And of course, when that croc goes into the trap and I've trapped him, I'm elated. It's like, whew, it's almost an adrenaline surge after the act of catching the croc, because you know that you've secured the animal and he's going to live a really happy life. I absolutely thrived on it. Living right in the bush, I became at one with nature, and I think those years of isolation in the bush, trying to help crocodiles, built Steve Irwin. And I had to use bush tucker, and I'd resort to fishing to get a feed. So it really honed my bush skills.
I can't recall how many crocodiles we would have caught over the years. I suppose close to 100 crocodiles, maybe, over those years.
I spent what felt like a lifetime up in the wilderness catching crocodiles on my own, and occasionally I'd have family and friends helping me, which was great. Dad bought me this old national video recorder, which I'd jam in a tree, on the mud bank, put it on the front of the boat, on the back of the truck, absolutely everywhere to capture a piece of history. My sister Mandy came up to give me a hand, and she turned out to be an expert on the camera. Sharing all this with my dad and with my best mate Wes has helped to build me to be the person I am, because it was crocodile conservation in its rawest form, and to get it all on an old video camera is exceptional. Female crocodile, Mandy Irwin. It was very physical, hard work. Manipulating, grabbing, tossing these big crocodiles. And mostly I was on my own.
And here we are back at the Queensland Reptile and Fauna Park with 2 crocodiles.
Imagine how proud I was, how proud I am to share crocodile conservation with the people I love the most. My dad, my family, my Wes, my best mates. We were young, fit, keen and innovative.
I spent a long time in the bush, and I'd caught a whole series of crocodiles, and with that came a big head and complacency. And of course, never the two shall meet. Catching crocs and complacency is just not on. And I can hear my dad's words in the background there. I'm going to kick your bottom if you go complacent. Anyway, I got complacent.
I think he'd been in the bush a bit too long because he got very complacent. And he hadn't secured, although he'd got this crocodile back to camp, ready to put into a crate, she was still in the trap, but she hadn't been secured. Her mouth hadn't been secured. So while he's getting the transport crate ready, he let this croc out of the trap, and she was just sitting there. So he goes in the box.
As I'm backed out, whack! She put a series of real beaut holes in my feet all the way to the bone.
Thanks a lot.
And I had to ring my dad up. And so I've rung up, "Oh, Dad, I need some help." "Is you need some help?" Geez, this doesn't sound like young Steve-O.
Look what that crocodile did to me, Suey.
So he was extremely fortunate that all he had in his foot was some holes, and he also still had the croc that could have just walked off back to the creek.
Agro was one of the wildest captures in my entire life, and I had my heart in my throat for a long time. We spent many, many hours together. The sequence of events that happened was Dad went up into this area. He was a designated road crocodile, and he was a really naughty croc. He'd pop right up next to boats. And in fact, when Dad was up there, he located him very easily, and he put a marker in the tree, so when I went up, I knew exactly where to set the trap. Now, a whole series of events happened where I built a lot of respect for this one animal, Agro. I've gone in, I've located the trap site, and even when I went in to set the trap, I felt this crocodile stalking me. I couldn't see it, but I could sense it. And myself and my dog were setting the trap. Something bumped into the boat. My dog started row, 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 barking at the water. Obviously a crocodile. She was alarming me to the danger. And I was really scared. Anyway, we set the trap. I got back into the boat. Away we went. And a few days went past. He started hitting lead-in baits, which is the first sign I'm going to catch a croc. And then sure enough, one morning, I wake up, headed up to the trap site, and the trap was completely submerged underwater. And so I was scratching my head. I wonder what's going on here. The trap's gone off. Something's taken the bait. Next minute, whoosh, the spout come out of the water, and the nostrils of air from a crocodile. I've gone, "You beauty, I've got a crocodile." It's under the water, so I park my boat over the top thinking, what am I going to do? Next minute, bang, straight under the boat. He's headbutted the boat. And I've gone, crikey, I've got no idea of knowing how big it is. I've gained a bit of net and hooked it into the bow of the boat. Bang! He's headbutted the boat again. God, oh, crikey. So I've gained a bit more net, and it's just like this whirlpool of crocodile, very, very excited and aggravated as he's carrying on and getting really aggressive. I'm hauling net in and hooking it in and hooking it in and hooking it in until here's the tail of the crocodile up over the bow of the boat. I'm thinking, you beauty, I'm gaining ground on him, so I've taken one more hook and hooked it in. Now his whole tail is over the bow of the boat, about a 12-foot croc. Next thing, he's pivoted off his tail and he's just gone, whoa, straight out of the water, mouth open, straight in the boat. Bang! Me and my dog, whoo, we're out. Jumped straight out of the boat into the water, and now he's in the well of the boat, and we're panicking. Chili's gone for the bank. She's gone up into the mud. I don't want anything to do with this. I've had to panic a little bit and get my act together. I grabbed mangrove branches and bags, cut the ropes off, tied them all around the boat, and he's thrashing around trying to cave the inside of my boat in. I finally had enough stuff over the top of him that I thought I had him secured. Blindfold's the trick, but I couldn't get near his head. He would have taken my arms off. And then I've had to jump in the boat with him, and he growling at me, mouth open. I'm throwing things on him, you know, trying to keep his eyes covered. As soon as I fired up the boat, that really hurt his feelings. He just got bang, and I could feel the boat starting to split. And oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And as I'm going along, he fought so ferociously that I thought he was just going to split the boat like a tin can. So I just rammed it straight up onto a mud bank into the mangroves, and he settled down again, and I pulled the boat off and he took off. And I got back